Okay. So now we know that like there are multiple operating systems in the IT industry, like Microsoft Windows series operating system, Unix, Linux OSs, and VMware company has ESX operating system. So now we will discuss like so how these operating systems are differs and server, what is server operating system, what is normal client operating system. Okay. So the operating system vendors, okay, basically these vendors, Unix vendors and Microsoft, okay, so develops these operating systems in two categories. While writing the codes for that operating system itself, they code differently for two kinds of usage: client operating system and server operating system. So what we have worked till now is mostly client operating system like Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10. All these operating systems are client based, okay, personal use. Simply if you want to categorize personal use and business use. Okay. Personal usage and business application level usage. Fine. So the server operating systems, the names itself, Microsoft names their operating systems with the name of server only, like Windows Server 2008, 2012, 2016, 2019. These are the latest operating systems available. 1916 or 12 are widely used. 2008 and 2003 also is there. Before that 2003 there was Windows NT as well. Those are very old and outdated. 12, 16 are widely used. 2019 is the latest version available with them. Okay. Same way Linux operating systems also. Red Hat, Enterprise, Linux operating system. 6, 7, version 6, version 7 are 7 is latest version. Like these server operating system vendors, they develop based on two categories, server OS and client OS. Then what is the difference? If you have a computer, if you install client OS, if you install server OS, both works in similar way. Okay. Client OS and server OS works in similar manner. Let's say if you execute what is 10 plus 10, in client OS also we get the same output, server OS also we get the same output. Then what is the difference? So server operating system will have extra information than client operating system. What is that extra information? So while keeping the business applications in mind, they develop this server operating system. Along with client OS, it will have some extra information as well. We don't need to worry what is that extra information, how they have developed and all. But that extra information will be used to run business applications. Very basic example is something like SAP. If you try to install SAP on client operating systems, even it will not install. During the installation, it will say the underlying operating system doesn't install this module. Okay. Installation itself will not complete. If you try to install on the server operating system, it will install successfully. So that means by keeping the SAP application and all other business applications in mind, they will develop these operating systems. SAP is just one example I am saying, as many people might have heard about the SAP application. Okay, so there are thousands of applications like SAP are available in the market. Depends on the company's business nature, they use different business applications. So to run those business applications, these operating systems are developed separately, especially for that to run their business applications. Okay. That's the main difference. If you try to install business applications, they will not even install on client OSs. It's a lightweight, very less information, whatever is needed for personal use, that is useful on this client operating system. Server operating systems are basically will support all the business applications across worldwide. Okay, now we understood the difference between server OS and client OS. Any questions here? Now computers are also, there are two types.
Sir,
Yes.
SAP is an example of client OS, sir.
And that's an application, that's not OS. This is application. OS ఇక్కడ రాసాను చూడు, ఇక్కడ client OS అని చెప్పి ఇక్కడ లిస్ట్ చేశాను కదా, ఇవన్నీ client OS. This is application. I will write here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. These are applications and these are OS.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, please.
we installed the SAP. For example, we install the SAP in OS, server OS, and we install the another OS in the same computer.
No.
Oh.
Any computer, we will install one copy of any one OS only, either Linux or Windows or ESX or whatever it is. We install only one OS.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Now, so we understood about the two types of operating systems available in the market. Now, computers are also two types: personal computers and server computers. Okay, all laptops and desktop, any model, any brand, laptops and desktop computers comes under personal computers. Okay, there are computers, there are server computers, they are specially made. Okay, same like we have like whatever personal computer has, if you open that box, you will have motherboard, RAM, CPU, hard disk, lot of electrical components connected together will make a laptop or desktop, right? Same way the server computer also will be there, but it will have lot of capacity. On personal computers, maximum we will see 16 GB RAM maximum. Okay, and server computers, there are computers with 6 terabyte RAM. RAM itself 6 terabyte. Even there are computers with 12 terabyte RAM. You can understand, RAM itself 12 terabyte, how fast they can work. Okay, so there's some examples for server computer. The market leading HP, they have a model called Proliant BL 380 generation 9, generation 10, multiple servers, multiple models are there. And number 2 in the market, it's a Dell Power Edge R720, one of the latest model. Next, third place in the market from the server category is Cisco C260 M3 or M4, like this. These are some examples for server computers. So we might have not heard even these server computers also. These are also same like another computer only. Say will have same motherboard, RAM, CPU, hard disk, all other electrical components connected, and if you power on same way, it will boot. It will display like another laptop and desktop, but it will be very reliable and it is very heavy, and you have, because lot of hardware components are connected together to make extra capacity. Okay, so our laptops and all, if you play graphic intensive games for 2 to 3 hours, the laptops will heat up, you have to stop for some time. But these server computers will run 24/7. There are computers which are running from 1500 days without a reboot. Okay, almost like 5 years. 5 years those computers are not even shut down. If you have proper power supply and air cooling in that building, if there is no hardware failure, they will be running 24/7 throughout the year. Okay, if there are computers with 1500 days as uptime also, that means it was powered on once, and even after 5 years it is still running. Unlike our laptops, we shut down every day. We don't shut down these physical server computers. We'll see why we don't shut down these computers. Okay, so it's same like it will have components like other laptops and desktop, but made specially to handle a lot of applications, a lot of load on it. Okay, these are basically called servers or computers. Application, SAP Unified Communication. Okay, there are multiple applications like that. Like if you see SharePoint application, whatever the business, Oracle database, SQL database, Power BI application. There are thousands of applications which are running here. And this is operating system layer. Okay, I'm considering from left to right here. Application layer, operating system layer, physical computer layer, physical hardware. Okay. Now this part we are very much familiar. Client operating system on personal computers, like Windows 7 on your laptop or desktop, Windows 10 on laptop or desktop. This part we are very much familiar and we know what we use here. Okay, personal computers to run your project, prepare your resume, attend course, whatever it is for your personal side. Okay, personal Gmail, Facebook, whatever things we use on a personal computer. Okay. Now, server operating system will be installed on server computers and business applications will be installed on top of the server operating system. Just a minute, I'll be back. Fine. So server operating systems will be installed on server computers and business applications will be installed on top of this server operating system. Okay. Now these applications will be like even your Facebook, WhatsApp, okay, Gmail and all will be running on this model only. Your internet banking applications, lot of things every day you use applications, right? Every application will be running on this model only on your mobile or laptop, whatever it is, website or application, whatever the service that you use, like we will be running on this model only. Okay. For that company, their business, like even if in the midnight, like even early morning, anytime if you access your Facebook or Gmail, your WhatsApp, whatever it is, you will have all the data available there. So that means 24/7, these applications are always running. This operating system, if to run this application, OS should be always up and running. To run this computer always, the computer should be powered on all the day. Okay, that's how business applications will be running on the underlying model. And unlike our personal computers, we everyday power on. Once your work is completed, we will close it up. So these business applications and server computers are not like that. Even users, we don't know like what kind of users are using, right? Flipkart and Amazon, anytime if you access, they will be available. So like that, these applications will be always up and running. The computers, operating system and applications all will be up and running all the time. That's why business applications will be running 24/7. That's why they need administrators to take care of if there is any problem at any point of time. They need administrators like us to fix that problems. Okay. Okay. Now, so vice versa also is possible. Like we know, like on personal computers, what we use, maximum our project works, okay, attending course, a prepared resume, Gmail, YouTube, whatever the personal use, right? Basic things we use on it. If you install Windows client operating system on server computers also, it's possible. No one will complain, no one will give you any error. It's possible because it is a OS, it is a server computer. You can install on it. But this cost a lot, like starting from 3 lakhs itself. Minimum to minimum server, it will start from very brand new server, start from 3 lakhs. There are computers with 20 lakhs as well. Just one computer, it costs so much amount. Okay, paying so much money and you installing a client OS and using it for personal use. Okay, accessing your Gmail, YouTube, prepare your resume, project work, whatever it is. It's a waste, like you are spending a lot of money and you're not even utilizing the hardware properly, and all your money and also your compute power is wasted. Having like 48 GB of RAM, you spend 3 lakhs money. Okay, 48 GB RAM is there, but you are not even using 4 GB, 5 GB of memory for your personal work. Okay, you are wasting a lot of resources, compute resource, and also the money you are wasting. Okay, and other vice versa also it's possible. If you use client OS and server computers, it's waste of resources. Okay, now if you install server OS on personal computers, it's possible. It will not give you any error. Okay, we can install also on our laptops and desktop. And if you install some business application, something like Flipkart, some crores of people will be accessing that website. So that means lot of traffic will be coming from application to this OS to this computer. Basically, if you process any data from application, okay, that should be executed on the hardware only. So via operating system, it will go to the computer only. So the day one we have discussed, right? The calculator application. When you send an instruction, what is 10 plus 10 via calculator, it will go to operating system. Then it will go to the hardware. It will execute. Then it same way it will comes back. Okay. So if you install server OS here on your laptop and desktop, if you run business application here, so now when a lot of people are using that business application, if you have too many customers, okay, there will be a lot of requests coming in, lot of data to be processed. The operating system will be sending lot of instructions here. This maximum only 16 GB RAM here, but based on the load that is coming from website to your computer, this computer cannot handle 16 GB of RAM. It's not enough. The processor and RAM is not enough. Okay, with this amount of memory, if you play graphic intensive NFS game, okay, Need for Speed, okay, if you play this kind of NFL graphic intensive games, maximum 2 to 3 hours, we have to cool it for some time, shut down and cool it for some time. But if you run business applications like this, 24/7, there will be lot of instructions coming in. Your RAM and CPU can't bear that much of load. They will burst out in a minute. Okay, laptop will break within just a minute if you send so much of traffic. Okay, that's why we don't recommend server OS on laptop or desk. If it is for personal use, just for learning something, install server OS on your laptop, that's fine. Something like SAP, if you are learning something SAP on your personal laptop, directly Windows 7 doesn't support. They will install Windows Server OS, then install the SAP application. Someone might have experience if someone is working with SAP. It's like this. It's possible to install, but we don't recommend because of these reasons. Business applications cannot run on a laptop with small specifications. Always, this is recommended to run on computers like this. Now understood what is personal computers, why we, and these computers will use to connect to these applications which are running on server computers. So if someone might have visited our lab, SVIT lab in Bangalore, you might have seen these physical servers. Okay, the previous batch students or somebody is joined who is already aware of this. Like you might have seen this, we have 2 servers here, one HP server, one Dell server. Unlike our laptops and desktops, they are designated in a common location and it will be very heavy. Even one person can't lift the old servers. It will be that much heavy. It will have same motherboard, RAM, CPU like our computers only, but it will be heavy because of these specifications. A lot of components connected together that makes bulky server. Understood what is client OS and personal computer, business applications, server operating system, server computers. Anyone has any question here?
I'm here.
Yes, please.
using this like our system or mobile, right? That will call request will call from server, trigger from server.
Exactly. So let's say this is there is if it is a web application, all our mobile applications will work via internet, right? So there is internet. Your mobile or laptop is connected to internet. The website or a mobile application which you are using, let's say these are the business application, are connected to internet. So when you from your mobile or laptop, when you make a request via internet, it will go to the application first, and from that application it will go to OS. From OS it will execute that instruction on the computer, so the output will be displayed to you. Understood? Something like you are transferring some money from your phone pay or Google Pay to some your friend. Okay, you connected to internet via you are connected to your mobile application phone pay. It is connected to your banking account, and which is your account is stored. The data will be stored in hard disk, right? Physical computer. So in this computer there is a data like you have, let's say 1 lakh rupees in your account. That data is stored here. That application, the internet banking application is available here. So when you are trying to send some data, so from your laptop or mobile, you are accessing that application and you are trying to send. So the data should be retrieved from this computer hard disk, right? So from this way, it will retrieve and send it to your friend account, and the amount which, let's say you have sent 10,000. So 10,000 will be reduced from the application end. It will process the data. 10,000 will be reduced from your account. Now it will show only 90,000. Where will this data will be stored? On the physical computer, the server computer hard disk. It will have 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte or 10 terabyte local hard disk. The data will be stored in this hard disk, this computer hard disk. Consider these things: your laptop and mobile, and your internet banking mobile application, banking application data is stored in the server computer. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else has any question? This is very basic thing. All our technical features and our entire course will depend on this model only. So we will always work with these server computers. So these are personal computers. We don't care about our personal computers. For the client that we work, server computers are important. So you might have experienced server down situation if you go to, like, when you like ticket vending machines, queues, or bank. Most of the cases banks, okay, banks or any other location. Okay, when you're trying to do something, let's say you are trying to deposit some money in a bank. If you go to a teller, they will, from their laptop, this is their laptop, they will connect to the business application via internet, and here you are trying to send some cash to the teller. He will say server is down, you have to wait for some time. That means he is trying to access the application which is running here on a server OS and a server computer. For some reason that application is not opening. Either laptop is fine, okay, is she connected to internet, other internet things are all working, YouTube, Gmail, other things are working, but that specific banking application is not working as expected to deposit money on your account. Okay, it's not working. So the reasons could be either maybe problem with this application here. Even though server computer is healthy, OS is up and running, like this computer, it is up and running, but application has some problem. Application is not opening. Okay, this is application level issue, not the server computer level issue or not the server OS level issue. But the teller will not be aware what is a server also. But when they are not able to open this application, they will just tell that server is down, you have to wait for some time. But actually, as an administrator like us, if you individually look at it, there is no server issue at all. Server is fine, server OS also is fine. Only there is a problem with application, but still we call it as server down. That is one example. Next one. If the server computer is fine, then let's say there is a problem with OS. Okay, your hardware is fine. When you're trying to power on a computer, OS is not powering up. It's showing starting Windows and again rebooting. Again, it's showing starting Windows, again rebooting. That means there is a problem with operating system. When operating system is not working, you will not be able to connect to class also. When you are not able to open your laptop, you will not be able to connect to internet, you will not be able to join this class. Okay, you are not able to connect to Teams application to connect to the class. So even let's say same, we'll stick it to the same banking example. So operating system is not working. Now the banking application will not work. So the teller is trying to connect to this application, it is not connecting. It's not working. They will then also she will say the server is down, you have to wait for some time. Actually now the server OS is only down. Application was healthy, but still because of this issue, it is also not working. Okay, when your laptop is not booting up, you will not be able to access any data in it, right? Same way. In that scenario also they call it as server down. Now let's say there is a problem with motherboard on the computer itself. You are trying to power on using a power button, it's not showing anything at all. Even it has good power and let's say very good healthy battery and power charged up completely, still not powering up. Maybe a motherboard is crashed. When motherboard is itself failed, okay, crashed, this operating system will not boot. When operating system is not coming up, application also will not be accessible. In this case also, they will say server is down, you have to wait for some time. But if you see as an individually administrator like us, and we will understand in which layer there is a problem. In first case, the problem is application layer. Second case, problem is at OS layer. Still it is called server down. Still it is called server down. In the third case, problem is on the hardware. Still they call it as server down. Because they completely treat this entire 3 layers as a server. So computer, OS and application will be considered as a server. If SAP is running, we call SAP server. Okay, if a SharePoint application is running, SharePoint server. If Java is running, Java server. Database is running, SQL server, Oracle server, like that. If a website is running, web server. Okay, like that. So this total layer will be called a server. But it is physical server here in compared to yesterday's terminology. We were talking about virtual machine, virtual computer. This is a physical computer, physical server. Fine. Any question here? Very basic things. Okay, it's not even part of a VMware course, but very basic things should understand. We should understand before we go into our VMware course. Fine. Any other question?
సార్
Yes, please.
సార్ ఇక్కడ సర్వర్ కంప్యూటర్స్ లో మనకి 6 TB టు 12 TB వరకు ర్యామ్ సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా సార్. దానికి ప్రాసెసర్ కూడా అంటే CPU కూడా అట్లా ఉండాలి కదా సార్, హై పర్ఫార్మెన్స్.
ప్రాసెసర్
CPU సార్, అంత ర్యామ్ సపోర్ట్ చేయాలంటే CPU కూడా పవర్ఫుల్ అయి ఉండాలి కదా సార్.
అవును, CPU కూడా ఉంటుంది. ర్యామ్ ఓన్లీ ర్యామ్ ఒకటే కాదు, CPU కూడా ఈవెన్ బియాండ్ యువర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఉంటుంది.
యా, అది CPU మోడల్స్ ఏమైనా తెలుసా?
యా, సో Xeon E5.
ఓకే.
Just tell me. Xeon E5 series, Nephron. Mainly Xeon series will be used like this. Processor will be like that. Not like our Intel i3 and i5. It's a advanced processor for servers.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see here on our server also we have. If you go to server, if you select ESX machine, summary tab, here you can processor Intel Intel Xeon E5-2440, like this.
Yes.
Our personal computers, we will see it as Intel i5, something like this. Here you can see performance tab. Not sure. Here you can see Intel Core i5. On personal computers, you'll see Core i3, i5, i7, i9 also recently released. Core i9, Core i5, Core i3.
Yes.
Server computers will have E5 Xeon series.
Yes.
So any other questions? So now you understood what is a server mean, right? It is a stack of physical server computer, server operating system, and business application. Clear? Say yes or no at least, that's fine. Just raise you. Just message.
Yes, clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear.
Thanks. Okay, now we will see how business organizations will be running their business. Okay. Let's say there is an organization who has 10 applications. To run their business, they have 10 applications to run properly. So out of which they develop a product, they sell this product in the market and they get money out of it. They manufacture a product by running all these 10 applications. With these 10 applications, they are able to produce a product and they are selling that product in the market and they are getting money. Product can be either software product or hardware, whatever it is. Software in the sense like website, YouTube kind of channels, YouTube kind of application, whatever website, okay, or physical products, whatever the products they are manufacturing, okay, hardware components. Now to install these 10 applications, to develop this product, they need to install 10 applications. Where they will install these 10 application, first of all, where the application will be installed? Just now we have discussed, right? Application layer,
OS
layer,
sir.
and computer layer. Correct. So application should be installed on a OS. Where the OS will be installed?
Computer.
On computer, physical computer. Let's say there is a physical computer. Narendra, can you go on mute, please? Yeah, thanks. Okay, so we have a computer here. Let's say it has 100 GB RAM, Xeon processor, Xeon CPU, and 1 TB hard disk. They have installed Windows Server 2016 and business one of the business application is installed here. They have 10 applications, they have installed one application here and they found like its usage is 30%. Let's install one more application. We have to install 10 applications, right? So let's install one more application. One more business application we are trying to install. Now these two applications will clash on the, let's something like fight on the operating system end. Let's say to run this application and to run this application, same operating system file is needed at a time. Okay, so operating system, there is one operating system, it is ready to serve business applications, but there is a critical file. There are sometimes two applications also we can run, but these applications will try to access same operating system files at a time. So this operating system file can serve only one application where that critical point is located. Now only one application will be installed here. When you try to install second application, due to that conflict, you will not be able to install. For some reason, you have installed another application, or let's say five applications you have installed on the same machine. 5 or 10 applications you have installed on the same machine. What will happen if there is a problem on the hardware or problem in the operating system? One problem will lead to all the 10 application failure, or 5 applications, or whatever. Let's say 5 applications. All the 5 applications will be impacted with one failure, one hardware failure here or one OS failure here. Okay, so one failure will lead to huge impact, and let's say it's taking 2 to 3 days. All the applications which are dependent on it will be failed for will not be available for 5 days. Okay, now they are not able to produce this product completely those many days, until if there is a problem, that is until the problem is fixed, they will not be able to make this product. So that means they are not delivering that product in the market, so they are not getting money. So there is a business impact. So that's the problem when you install multiple applications on the same same one computer. It is not recommended to install multiple business applications on one machine. Because of this, one reason is one failure can lead to major impact or huge impact. That is one reason. Another reason is some depends on the application behavior. 2 applications can't even install on a one machine itself because of technical dependency. That is also one of the reason where we don't install multiple applications on one computer. We will install one application and one computer. Now only one application is installed, and its utilization is 30% only. That means 30 GB RAM only we are using, remaining 70 GB is still sitting idle. Processor also same. Okay, now customer wants to install, that company wants to install 9 more applications. We have installed only one application. Now we will buy one more computer. One more similar computer we will buy and install another operating system, install the second application. Because we cannot install multiple applications on the same machine, we are buying one more computer. Server computer we are buying. So here also utilization, if I go to the task manager and see the performance tab of that computer, I'm not even finding 20% of the CPU usage, not even 40 to 40% of the memory usage. Okay, here also let's say 40% memory utilization. CPU will be still less. It can do a lot of work, but we are not giving that much work. That means when your demand is increased here, your demand is increased, your investment is also increased. Some issue with letter key. Okay, so investment is also increased. So here it was, we spent like around 4 lakhs. Now we spent less or more around 3 lakhs here to buy this physical computer again. Even though you are not using 30% of the resources here, memory and CPU, hard disk resources, you are buying one more computer because your demand is increased. You need to install one more application. So likewise, you need to buy 10 physical servers to install all these 10 applications to produce a product and sell it in the market and make money. Understood? This is a traditional IT infrastructure. Any organization, not only IT infrastructure, Any organizations, IT infrastructures, like even if it is pharmaceutical, backend will be, they need servers like this, and we will install. This is completely is called IT infrastructure. Okay, company is pharmaceutical, but their infrastructure, they're running their business on this IT infrastructure. Okay, hotels. Okay, multiple, like any kind of business, any kind of product they're selling, software, hardware, physical product or virtual product, whatever it is. Until the year 2000, people used to run their business like this. Clear? Everybody, any organization, any kind of business, they used to run this way. They need to buy, if they want to install 10 applications, buy 10 physical servers and run business on top of this. Clear? Now, as I stated, 3 guys have started thinking about why are we wasting so much of compute power? We are using out of 100 GB, we are using only 30 GB only. Remaining 70 GB, we are wasting. Okay, we pay, even though we paid for it, we paid 4 lakhs and we purchased this 100 GB memory computer. But we are not giving that much work to this computer, still we are buying one more computer. Okay, we are wasting so much compute power here, so much money also we are wasting. Forget about the profit. They are making this product and making enough profit out of it. Forget about this profit. Look about the investment, the money and the compute power wastage. They started thinking about this traditional IT infrastructure and noticed these drawbacks. 1. Underutilization. Underutilization of resources like memory, RAM, CPU, and hard disk. So we paid for it, but we are not utilizing efficiently. Second, space. So in India, at least the rentals, the lease, the space, the data center space that we occupy is very cheap. Outside India, every square feet they charge. Okay, so if you place more number of server computers, more amount you need to pay towards the rent or lease for that respective data center building. Okay, power consumption. So when you have 10 server computers, as they are running 24/7, their processors will be generating more heat throughout the day. If you leave like that, if their temperatures crosses more than 60, 70 degrees, then they will stop working. So we have to maintain always less than 60 degrees. It will better to maintain at less than 20. Okay, that's why many companies now they are building their data centers in polar regions. There we don't need extra power for power cooling. Air cooling. Okay, air conditioning we don't need much power. That's why they have a lot of underwater data centers, polar region data centers. Very cold countries they will have data centers because their data center they'll be generating thousands or even lakhs of physical computers will be there. Okay, even lakhs of physical computers together in a single building will generate a lot of heat. To make it cool, we need to provide more cooling. We need more power there. That's why they build in underwater and polar regions. Direct power also. These computers will use power, generate. They will be continuously using power, right? So 24/7. Direct power and power cooling in that. Air cooling in that building. We need power. So power bill at the end of month will be more. Hardware maintenance. Maintenance in the sense if there is a problem in the hardware, okay, let's say as I said, like motherboard failed, CPU failed, RAM failed, small fan inside a physical computer is stop working, okay, keyboard, mouse, whatever it is, any of the component in the computer fails, we will not leave like that. We will go to market, buy a new similar hardware component and come and just replace. Okay, if there are more hardware, more maintenance you need to work. In our lab there are like 10 to 15 computers, so at least monthly once I need to go to market and get some product, like bring a new product which is for failed component. Monthly at least 1 or 2 components will be failing. Every month I'll go to the market and buy similar products and get it replaced. If there are 100 computers, almost weekly I need to go. Okay, if there are 1,000, maybe every day I need to go. So depends, when your hardware increases, failure chances also will increase. Okay, then you need to do more maintenance. Then administrators. When you have like 10 machines, maximum 2 to 3 guys will enough to take care of that infrastructure. If there are 100, we need 5 to 6 members. If there are 1,000, like 10 to 15 members are needed. Okay, depends on the role. So when you have more number of computers, more administrators are needed. Okay, overall, if you see, all of these directly will be related to the money that we are going to invest here. These are the drawbacks they have noticed in the traditional IT infrastructure. When anybody is running their business on the traditional model like this, okay, they will be facing drawbacks. They'll be wasting so much compute power and they'll be wasting so much money.
Sir, another point there, sir, money wastage.
Yeah, it's all together will directly relate to money only. In IT infrastructure, investment in the IT infrastructure. That's why we discussed here. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for that. Okay. So when anybody running their IT business and the traditional models, they will be facing all these drawbacks. Directly, it is related to the amount of money they are going to invest on their IT infrastructure. Now, as I said, like 3 guys don't raise these drawbacks, and they have developed an operating system to provide solution for these kind of drawbacks. They have developed a new operating system which is named as ESX, Elastic SkyX. Problem with key, letter E. Elastic SkyX. They have developed an operating system like this. Now we will see how it provides a solution to overcome these drawbacks. Okay, buy a computer. Yesterday is almost like yesterday what we have discussed about it. Buy a computer, physical computer. Physical server with 100 GB RAM. RAM or memory, both are same. So whenever I'm saying memory or RAM, both are same. Okay, do not confuse. Let's say Xeon processor, 1 terabyte hard disk. Now, instead of like, let's say you want to install 10 business applications, if you want to install as of now only the traditional model. Now VMware company has developed a new OS called ESX, and they are giving you a demo how you should set up your applications on this new product. Okay, instead of installing Windows or Linux operating system and running in your business applications, you install this ESX operating system here. Install ESX operating system, and you can create virtual computers on top of ESX operating system. Let's say I have created 5 virtual machines here. Each machine, this is a virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, virtual machine 3, like total 5 virtual machines I have created. Here, now you install whatever the operating system you want to install. Install Windows application, Windows operating system, install application 1, application 2. Here also you can install Windows or Linux, whichever the OS that you want. You can install application 3, install some. Okay, like this. So on each virtual machine, we will install one operating system and one business application. Instead of installing all on one machine or one application on a different machine, now we are installing application on different machines only. There is no relation between this machine and this machine. They are completely independent. You can, when you, let's say for some reason, if you are powering on this one, this can be power off or power on, or both can be powered on. Okay, always running. Let's say 5 virtual computers we have built on one physical server. This machine with Windows OS and application will give exact performance as though your physical computer with Windows OS and business application, how much output it is giving. This machine also will give exactly the same output. The performance of this computer is exactly same as this computer. That it's not above or not below, exactly equivalent. And this computer is equivalent to this computer. This computer is equivalent to this computer. So like that, we have created 5 computers. Instead of now, if you compare this traditional technology versus this new technology, instead of running 10 physical computers, you have one physical computer and 5 different virtual computers, and your 5 applications are running, and they are giving exact output as your physical traditional old model is giving. So that you get same output. That means you, let's say when you run your business, same business on this old model, traditional infrastructure, let's say per week you are manufacturing 1,000 units of some product, 1,000 pieces of some product. If you run the same applications, instead of here on the physical computers, use on VMware's virtual computers, you will be able to generate same 1,000 units per week. Okay, that means performance is exactly same. Instead of buying 5 physical computers, now we have only 1 physical computer and 5 virtual computers. Understood? Now totally you have 10 applications. We have 5 applications, right? Buy one more, like one more ESX operating, one more physical computer, and now you make total 5 plus 5, total 100 machines. 10 machines. Now on top of one physical server, 5 computers. On top of another physical computer, 5 more virtual computers. So total 10 virtual computers are running with 10 different applications to produce your product, whatever the product that you are manufacturing. It will produce from this new virtual computers, new infrastructure compared to this traditional infrastructure. Performance is same when you are running your business on this traditional IT infrastructure. Per 1 week you are manufacturing 10 units, 1,000 units. So on these computers are also you are manufacturing 1,000 units. No difference at all. But now if you see the investments that you are making here versus here you are buying 10 physical servers. Here we have only 2 computers. Okay. So now if we compare underutilization of resources, here we were using 30% of memory and CPU. Here we are targeting 80% of the resources. If you create one more computer, it will still increase. 80% of the resource RAM and CPU we are using. That means the first problem is overcome. We have solved this problem. Here we were using 30% of the resources. We are utilizing 80%. When you power on one more virtual computer, it will increase 85% also. Okay, we can, but let's say we'll target 80%. So now we are using 80%. We are utilizing up to 80% here. So the first problem is overcome. Do you agree or not? Or if you have any question as of now, let me know.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, one physical computer, how many virtual machines are installed, sir?
Maximum 1024. I will give those numbers later. As of now, just try to understand. Thanks for your question. Like 1024. 1024 virtual computers we can create on top of one ESX machine. That means one physical server. Every physical server, one physical server will be installed with one ESX operating system and multiple virtual computers.
So that is also based on RAM only. We can create
Exactly.
1000 virtual machines.
Correct. You are correct. So if you have enough RAM only, you can create that many number of virtual computers. Let's say if you want to create 1024 virtual computers here, let's say if you are assigning 1 GB RAM to one machine, at least minimum to minimum. So 1024 into 1. So 1024 GB you need to have. So here that means 100 GB RAM is not enough. You need 1024 GB RAM on the physical computer.
If suppose if we would have more RAM, then we can create more than 1000, right? For one mission.
ESXi supports maximum 1024.
1000.
Yeah. Even though you have more than 1024 GB, let's say you have 6 terabyte RAM, but you can't create that many VMs. You max 1024. Minimum maximum 1024.
Okay. And also I have one doubt, sir. You told like one server only, one application, business application only we can install. So normal personal laptop, so many applications we can install, right, without any interrupt of VM.
Yes, but those are like personal applications. Even if there is an impact, let's say your laptop is crashed, there is no major impact for you. Okay, but for business applications, it's not like that. Let's say if your Flipkart website is running on one machine, if that machine is having a problem, that website will be down. So how much business they will be losing during that 1 hour or 2 hours to fix that problem? Fine.
Sir, in physical computer, we have created the multiple apps, VM1, VM2.
Yes.
Any clashes between those, sir?
No, they are completely independent VMs. So it is separate VM, it is separate VM. There is no clash at all. Completely, you can install Windows here, Linux here, older version or higher version, doesn't matter. So they are completely independent. There is no clash between these virtual computers.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And now we'll come to space. Here we were using 10 physical computers. Here we are using only 2 physical computers. Obviously, we will occupy less space. Power bill for 10 computers, direct power plus air cooling power. Power bill for 10 computers versus power bill for 2 computers. Obviously reduced. Hardware failure chances on 10 computers versus hardware failure chances on 2 computers. Obviously will reduce. Number of administrators to take care of 10 computers, 2 computers. Obviously reduce. So we can overcome all these problems with this solution. And also we are not compromising on the productivity. Here we are developing, here we are manufacturing 1000 units per week. Here also we are manufacturing 1000 units per week. No difference in your output, no difference in your profit, but there is a difference in your investment. Okay. You are investing less amount compared to traditional IT infrastructure. Because of these virtual computers on ESXi is helping us to utilize the resources efficiently, and we are still achieving the same output. Understood? Is it clear how we overcome these drawbacks on this technology? Do you still need any explanation here?
I think, sir. Okay, sir. It's clear.
Yeah. So the VMware around 4 years back, the VMware has confirmed that it is a 10:1 range. People are saving money. As I said, like people was investing 10 rupees and gaining 100 rupees as a profit after end of the week. And now people are investing only 1 rupee and gaining 100 rupees as a profit. Okay, that your investment is reduced by efficiently utilizing the resources with this advanced technology. It's just a given minimum to minimum 10:1 range. There are people who are saving 100:1 range also. They used to invest 100 rupees and gain 1000 rupees as profit. Now people are investing 1 rupee and still gaining 1000 rupees as profit. Okay. It's not just on the paper, it's a proven product already. It's there in the market for 25 years. It's not the value I'm giving or any other company giving that. So it's a proven across worldwide, across many customers. Any company, pharmaceutical, IT, okay, manufacturing, hotels, website, banking, all the kind of organizations, business they are running. Yeah, they are running on PMI product now. Not like, I'm not saying like 100% customers are here. There are competitors also for this product. But we will see that table versus with competitors, we will discuss later.
Sir, who is founder this systems VM?
Yeah,
sir?
I'll give you that name later. Not a problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You don't need to worry about the founder for now. Like we should know the subject.